Welcome to Path of Faith, where we embark on a journey of spiritual discovery, guided by the timeless wisdom of faith and the teachings of Jesus Christ.
The demonic possession is every time we identify that person, he has so much spiritual breach for evil, that evil ends up taking the regency of his history, his body, in this case. She gets possessed. I never saw such a case. I've seen stories of people haunted by evil, visited by the forces of the evil one. But thank God I never had contact with someone living a possession. Father Giovanni of Rio de Janeiro, who is a great friend of mine, he works with this kind of follow-up, and I've seen him testimonies of situations anyway, where you realize where he identifies by his own ministry to be an exorcist priest, having people who are really, it's like they are totally taken by evil. Evil is already so embarrassed that you identify as a case of demonic possession. What I know, my people, is that we need to expel the devil from our life daily, from our history. How does the devil come into our life? He enters through our thinking. He enters through the petty feelings we feed. He enters through injustices we commit. Everything that is low. Because the devil likes what is low. And we were born high. We were born for the noble thing. There are diabolized songs. Yes, I will not allow a bad song to take care of my house. Anyone who lives there, who lives with me, knows that even these very violent movies, these news that explore all the time the violence, which show body bleeding, the family crying on the deceased being executed. For God's sake, in my house, I do not watch it and end the moment that we are watching, the moment we are having lunch. We are eating. Anything that will disturb my peace. This is not living alienated. I put a filter, because this is so devilish. If at 7 in the morning I am already seeing a news that cheer comes out blood, I risk conditioning my heart to that violence, and that garbage being judged comes to live inside me. So we have to be very careful with the music we listen to, with the news that we decide to bring into us, with the television programming that we will allow it to be passed in our house, because it all has diabolic cells, is equal cancer. It's bad to hear, but it's true. Every day our body produces cancer cells. But the very soldiers of immunity, what do? They throw away, kill these cells, and do not allow them to develop. Then the big question is, if you are undergoing a process of low immunity, why is cancer very associated with a depressive process? Sometimes a very deep sadness, a very deep disappointment that rocked that person. Low immunity, sadness, low immunity of people. Bad news lowered our immunity. Bad music lowered our immunity. The evils. So when the body has low immunity, those cells can't. The good cells don't kill the carcinogens. What happens? The tumor grows. And this tumor is judging news for the body. It is called metastasis. He judges cancer cells by the body. You know, my people, I can't be dramatic, but I believe the same thing happens in the spiritual field. Let's say that cancer cells are diabolical cells, which come to us through a word, which come to us through a song, a behavior, which we will assimilate. And because we have low spiritual immunity, right? Because this, unfortunately, in modern life, we do not have much time for prayer. We do not have time for reflection. We are having low spiritual immunity. The devil grows inside us, and suddenly we are able to act so diabolical. Are we able to murder our brother because he is serving as a hindrance for us to achieve what we want? Envy, as envy is a devilish feeling, because sometimes, because of the envy and jealousy we feel of the other, We are capable to create a diabolical mask for the other. But it is in us. Only we lack honesty to recognize. So if I allow small diabolical cells take over my heart, and I am in low spiritual immunity, why is God missing in my life? Or is what is missing that rises, right? Then I get devilishing. The possession is that. Even if we don't like in those movies we see, or vomit that avocado in the face of others, right? But sometimes we vomit worse, right? Vomit's horrible words, right? Vomit offenses. We judge that other broth of offenses on the other, right? God forbid. So we have to be careful like this. Now I do everything and nail all the time. The devil does not live in sincere hearts. Because the sincere heart, it is able to recognize daily what are the diabolical cells that are in us. Would it be so much better, my people, if we had this honesty every day? It is the blessed exam of conscience that my mother taught me when I was small. She made lying down, we closed our eyes without sitting on the bed. It's time for the consciousness exam, she spoke. I didn't even know what it was. I didn't even know what an exam was. Nor did I know what conscience was. Two weird words? I think if I asked my mother too, she didn't know. Anyway, she used it. Let's take the exam conscience. Then I sat on the bed, closed my eyes. Did you do the conscience exam? I spoke. I did it. Until one day someone taught me that the examination of conscience was to review all the actions of the day and find out what action was bad. And my mother is very wise in this regard. She never allowed when she saw something wrong we did. She corrected us on time. I remember, I was very small. My brother was a little bigger than me, older than me. Geraldo. One day, Geraldo appeared with a cart that was not his at home. And then my mother told him like this, Geraldo, where did you get this cart from? Then I said, oh, I thought, Geraldo, where did you find this cart? I found it there. Well, then you will take me there and show me where you found this cart. Then, halfway, he was tight. Then I said, no. Do you know what it is? It's just that, in fact, he was there. Inside that gate there. Then I took it to play a little. She said, because then you will knock on the door. This she with him, right? We come on. You will knock on the door. We'll call the owner of the house. We'll return and apologize because you did it. That it is not right for you to get what is from the other. Then my brother, dead with shame, did what my mother asked. But what I think is beautiful about my mother, do you know what it is? It is taking shame with him. It is holding on his hand at that moment. Did not leave him helpless. She held on his hand and said, come on, let's take over together. I didn't make the mistake, but I'm your mother, and I want you to be able to assume it. At that moment, my mother may have cut a thief. Isn't that how thieves are born? When we allow us to steal the minimum of the other, one day, we may be able to steal everything. Then, in the seemingly innocent theft, there may be the crime cell. And if it is not polite at the right time, it will come to our lives. The offenses. They start little. The diabolical starts small in us. It is a petty feeling that you feed. It's a door lock that you don't break. It is a jealousy you keep and that you unfold in evil. It is a dishonesty that you are indifferent to her. Worse, when we get used to it, right? When we get used to defects. When we get used to being bad. And then the devil takes possession of us. When we get used to everything that is diabolical, which is in the world available, in the shelves, in the media, and we freely bring to our lives. But every day is the day to break it. We do not well condemned to bring to bed today the cancer cells that the devil has placed on us today. Take your conscience exam as my mother taught me. What were the feelings you fed today that do not make you happy? What were the feelings that today you brought to your heart that you know that, instead of bringing you life, and throw it out? Just as we filled the lung with a new air and expelled what has already been used, and that was full of impurities. Life is like this. Create this spiritual immunity that comes to us by the personal encounters we make with the Lord. At this particular audience we do with Him. Although they are in the last moments of the day, before surrendering us to the pleasant world of unconsciousness that is sleep. They're in bed when you are already taken by sleep. You are able to cross the sign of the cross over your face, over your chest, and tell the Lord that you belong to it. If by chance today the devil had a chance with you, you would like tomorrow to be different. He is your Lord, and you do not want to share your heart with the enemy. You want your heart to be the whole of the Lord, and may God bless that purpose. May today, upon receiving this blessing, the Lord may cover you from courage to break all the power of death that may exist on you today. I wish you, in your struggles, always have the right and the possibility of removing your excesses, for you to have your fundamental truth before your eyes, without exaggeration, just you. And from that, you meet the path of life. Thank you for your affection, for your attention, and may God bless you a lot. May God pour over your heart upon your home, about your life, the disposition that characterized the heart of Our Lady. Pour upon us the blessing of the Almighty God, Father, Son, and Spirits.
As we conclude this spiritual exploration on Path of Faith, we invite you to engage with us by leaving your comments, liking this video, sharing it with others, and subscribing to our channel for regular doses of uplifting messages.